in Xi'an we do have some not very ancient, but some buildings they have been last like 100 years in the Muslim quarter.
Yes.
And I don't know if there are any people experiencing the ghost there. I'm not quite sure. I never heard of that.
Maybe, I don't know. I could ask.
So if you could find some guy living there quite a long time, maybe many generations they've been living there.
I think these things are in China, but I think you have to dig beneath the surface a bit. I was told an interesting story by a student in Xi'an, in Mongolia. She saw a ghost, and it was an interesting story because it's not the kind of story that someone would make up. Because I asked her what happened, and she said, well, when I was younger, I was in my I was in our house, and this house was an old house. In other words, someone had lived in it before, should we say? And she said that she walked into a room and she saw a man. Sort of, he seemed to be looking for something. I think she said he was looking inside a bag or something, and then he just disappeared. And that kind of story is credit-worthy because it's not the kind of story someone would make up. Like, if you ask a student to make up a ghost story, they'll come up with something that is more dramatic and fantastic.
They start from the movie.
Yeah, exactly. But to say something so mundane as I saw a man and he seemed to be looking for something and then he disappeared is exactly, in fact, what ghosts do. And I think it was probably the previous occupant of the house, and he's probably remained there. And ghosts, they do get trapped in patterns. So for some reason he can't leave this building, and he's still looking for something that he thinks he needs, you know. And the other thing is, because in China people know even less about ghosts than they do in the West, again it's credit-worthy because no one would know that that's the kind of behaviour of ghosts, that they get trapped in these repetitive behaviours, you know, or they're tied to a place by guilt or misery.
I feel myself now.
Misery is usually the factor. If someone had a very traumatic death or a very traumatic life, that often keeps them trapped between here and there. Or they die very, very suddenly, like in a car accident.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. I've been researching this thing for years and years, so
all about tactics, but not strategy, just tactics. Some traps, something like that. All is just full of so many some traps and the tactics in the novel, and that is what Chinese people are interested in. And they talk about like Mao. They talk about his tactics, how he's so smart and he did this, he did that, and he's very talkative, something like that. They talk about Primer Joe, the same, but what they forgot is the basics. So to me, I think what we need is basics, not so many.
What kind of